Recently, I saw this video, and it made me think, there's no way violence is possible with the whiplash, right? Well, it turns out you can beat it if you're struggles like me, and I'll be showing you all how you can beat the violence side with only the whip. 7-1 is the first level, and probably the hardest level in the entire level for one reason, the mannequin. This piece of crap has 6 health, meaning you need to whip it 30 times to kill it. And it can fire a homing orb for some reason. And the first room in this level has 6 of them, making the first room basically impossible on violent difficulty. I immediately felt sad. Seriously, the challenge is ending on the first level. But that's when I saw this. This out of bounds tip is pretty difficult and complicated. Not even I understand the full extent of it. To complete the level, progress normally, press the button, then grab the red skull. Do not leave the room and instead dive into the left corner. Then immediately place the skull once you get in, which will push you into the wall to its big hitbox. Then spam 5 to push yourself into the skeleton so you'll be slightly above the ground. You can check if you did it right by casting a whiplash, and if it's shaking significantly you're in a good spot. Then hold Q to open your weapon wheel and jump, which should hopefully push you above the ceiling. Also, when you're performing this clip, you should have the SPS high, since it seems to help. Once you're out of bounds, there's 2 ways to get to the Minotaur fight. The first way is to slam storage jump into a slide on top of the hallway leading to the secret boss, which should let you drop into the checkpoint. Although this is faster, it is annoying to perform due to the heavy white bomb, so I opted for a slower way. That being loading in the Mind Player room and then hitting the trigger to teleport you into the Minotaur room. You need to click back in bounds here and let the Minotaur kill the mannequin. Then return to the red skull and do the out of bounds script again and slide down the great tunnel on the staircase. Now it's time for the Minotaur boss fight. First a few enemies will spawn on trams, simply whiplash them into the road to instantly kill them. The last tram will get exploded by the Minotaur, which is nice. The first phase of the Minotaur is very hard, if not impossible with only the whiplash, but luckily I found a way to cheese him. Simply jump onto the Minotaur and then climb onto its arm. The Minotaur will now just try to scratch its back. You could sit and whip the Minotaur to death, however you're constantly getting pushed forward into the Minotaur's swipe by its animation and the whiplash, so this is not a good plan. Instead, let the Minotaur break the leftmost car and then get onto its arm. If everything goes according to plan, a stray will spawn and try to shoot its projectile at you, but it will end up hitting the Minotaur, dealing a nice 2 damage per second. You can also use the whiplash to healing, and you should occasionally press S to avoid the Minotaur's swipe. Once the Minotaur dies, kill the stray to heal and head to the last room. I worried about the Minotaur's second phase due to its high damage and difficulty to be whiplashed. Funnily enough, whenever the Minotaur charges into a wall, it will take some damage, so you can simply wait for the Minotaur to kill itself while occasionally whiplashing it to heal and dodging all of its attacks by abusing distance and sliding. "7-2 is extremely easy. Simply do the challenge. But, for me, the challenge is annoying. So, I simply get pushed into the wall and slam storage dive into the library, and use my game of muscle memory to easily pass the final room. 7-3 would be pretty difficult to do regularly. It has mannequins, gutter men, and sword machines, and 3 trees you are required to defeat. So I simply opted to take the secret exit out of this level. However, you must first clear the way for the street cleaner, because there are some mannequins. So, lure them to this room, collect the red ore, and then bait the hideous mass into killing the mannequins with its mortars. Now spawn in the street cleaners and whip that one across the water and take it to the secret exit. -4 is the main reason I made this video. I originally thought this level to be completely impossible with only the whiplash for two major reasons. The first reason is security system fight. When you kill all the other defenses, the laser defense will become vulnerable. But, for whatever reason, it is still immune to the whiplash, with the whiplash acting like it had hit a wall instead of an enemy, making you basically soft locked. Then, the boss of this level, the Earthmover's brain, which is projected by an electric shield that deflects the whiplash and prevents you from getting close. I'll soon reveal the way to bypass these seemingly impossible fights. Do a regular opening to a level, and whiplash the street cleaners when they spawn to stop them from burning you. Then, slam on the jump pads, and do a slam storage jump to get next to the defense system. Slam store on this funnel, you should do a slam storage dart instead of a jump, and go to this building to spawn in 2 mannequins and a Maurice. Kill the mannequins by either tricking Maurice into shooting them, or lure them into the light and make them get burned alive by it like a Reddit mod. Leave Maurice and go to the security system boss fight. The defense system is not very good at its job, since it is able to explode itself, which would be a main damage output for this battle. 2 rocket launchers will activate alongside a tracking laser, which is quite slow, but still annoying since it stops you from focusing on a single part of the system. Bait the rocket launchers into shooting each other or exploding themselves. You can also whiplash the rocket back into them by holding R as a rocket approaches you. Once one of the rocket launchers die, 2 mortar launchers will activate. You should focus on the remaining rocket launcher, which will spawn 2 homing orb shooters upon death, which you can kill by baiting explosive mortars onto them. Then, use a whiplash to heal off the mortars and let them explode themselves. Now we have the seemingly impossible part, but remember that Maurice from earlier? Well, he's currently approaching the room to help us. So, circle around the laser. It's slower than your walking speed, so it's fairly easy to dodge. Once Maurice enters, stand behind the laser and watch as Maurice guns it down. You can kill Maurice here, but it's not necessary. You should spare him as thanks for saving the run. Enter into the Earthmover and collect the checkpoint, then leave, making sure to not shut the doors, and replace it with this checkpoint. Once you get the checkpoint, traverse back and destroy the idols. Punching or slamming the idols are required. You cannot progress without destroying them. Progress like normal into the brain fight, but just before you collect the checkpoint, proceed to the checkpoint we collected earlier. Immediately jump off the ledge and slam, and hopefully you should be respawned back into the idol room. Break the idols again and make sure to go to the door to make the shield above you shut off. If you did it correctly, when you slam onto the jump pad, the brain will be there, but the floor and walls are deloaded. 2 things can happen depending on what the position of the Earthmover's head was. If its head was cocked back, like in this run, the brain should be hanging out of the shield, allowing you to whiplash it to death. If the Earthmover's head was in a normal position, the fight would start normal, but the Earthmover is still projected by the shield, so the first scenario is optimal. Once you kill the Earthmover, simply fall onto the jump pad where you would normally exit the level and leave out the exit. And that is all of the bind slate completed with only the whiplash. Honestly, it wasn't as hard as I expected. I will do Wrath and Heresy next video, so see you there.